Welcome back to another episode of the free VST Plugins Detective, where we review, test out, and demonstrate the various free VSTs. We got the Tal Chorus LX, and I haven't used this one yet, actually. Some plugins, I like to use them a little bit beforehand. Other ones, I'm like, let's just go in blind, see what happens. That's what we're going to do. So, I have this sample, actually, from my track, Bass Fire. I like using sometimes similar samples or the same samples in different settings and situations on this channel, because that way you can kind of see some differences. So anyway, I'm going to play the sample, because you haven't heard it yet. Let's turn this up a little bit, and let's play it up. Oh, the hubble was on. Right, so that's the sample. So now let's turn this on, see how it sounds, basically without any settings or anything. So basically we have volume, dry, wet, stereo, width, chorus 1 and chorus 2. Looks like I can kind of turn them both on and off as I want. So let's put on chorus 1, and let's turn it down in terms of dry, wet. And then, actually, well, let me see, does it change? So the stereo width only affects the chorus itself. I wasn't sure if that was actually a separate thing that it could affect the dry signal of the chain or the sound. So I'm going to play it and then turn up the dry, wet knob to 100% on chorus 1. Are you hearing something? Right, and then it's kind of cool. You can just stereo with, again, on the wet chain. Now, one big pro tip I'm going to say, and obviously on this channel, not only do I like to give you some tidbits about, the plugin itself, but, give you some music production techniques, I would highly suggest for a plugin like this, parallel processing. Essentially, what you do when it comes to parallel processing, you're essentially sending two channels, typically, not always, but typically 100% dry and 100% wet. So dry meaning the original sample, wet being the sample itself with the full effect being on it, right? So you can see this is a dry, wet knob. What I'm going to do, and this is in Ableton, we can do this in a bunch of different DAWs. I'm going to right-click and click Group. So now I basically have a group. I'm going to click this guy right there. And then I'm going to do Create Chain. So essentially what's happening now is this one, and I'll just do this to kind of make it easier for this video. This one is now the wet chain. So this is 100% of the chorus. And this now is going to be the dry chain. So as you can see, it says drop audio effects here because there's no audio effects. So what's happening now essentially is I'm getting 100% of the effect of the chorus and 100% of the dry. And you may be saying, well, what's the big deal? Why not just do this? Make it 57% or 40% or 30% or however. The reason why is you're able to completely manipulate the signal. So for example, if I do this, right, now I can turn this down or turn it up. Or like say if I'm like, you know what, I like this, but I only want the high end of the chorus. Now what I can do, because I'm parallel processing it, is do this. Again, I'm only affecting the chorus now. And I can do that. So now the chorus is only in that kind of spectrum, on the EQ spectrum, right? So by parallel processing allows me to manipulate it more. Again, I'm going to go back to the plugin, but I just kind of want to say that because that is very, very important for any situation when I use this plugin. 100% going to parallel process. So let's listen to it more. And I'm just going to listen to the wet chain just to demonstrate the plugin. Right, so we have this. Now we have nothing, obviously because we have no chorus. Let's try the second one. Sounds a little more distorted almost. Let me see. More in the high, maybe? Let me see, actually. Let me pull this up. Actually, maybe a little bit. It sounds almost a little bit brighter. And let's try both. Ooh, that sounds actually really cool. And then I can even do this if I want to. See how it sounds with the full mix. Sounds super cool. I can even do something like this. Let's have some fun with this one. No, it's my main. You can even mess around with this and do, like... and really push it to the sides. Like... just faintly in the sides or whatever. Obviously it's clipping, but... But yeah, so I actually really enjoy this plugin. You know what? I'm going to give this one... I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. I do wish there was a little bit more settings on this one, but I actually really do like the sound quality. I like the volume, dry, wet, and stereo width, and the way they can be affected. And I like the coarse settings. You know, you can do 1 or 2 or both, right? Or I guess none, but it's not going to do anything. But for a free coarse plugin, honestly, I really love the settings on this one. And especially if you don't have a coarse built-in plugin, obviously in Ableton, I can go to audio effects and you just hit coarse right here. But, you know, in case you don't want to use this one, and you want to basically use it in your own DAW, or if you don't even have one, definitely pick this one up.